Hey guys, it's Melissa here from melissaoatman.com. Welcome to Awaken Your Inner Awesomeness, a daily podcast devoted to spirituality and self-help. If you're new, I want to welcome you. If you're returning, welcome back. So today I want to talk to you about trusting the timing of your life. This is a really hard one, and this has been a lesson for me that I've probably failed more times than I care to even admit. I am, by nature, I'm a Taurus, so I'm stubborn, and I want things done when I want it done. I wanted it done yesterday. And one of the big lessons that I've had to learn in my life is patience. And I'm seeing this in my own mom too. So I know part of it, of course, is, yes, I'm a Taurus, but also it's just by design, being raised with a parent who's also impatient. I see it in her, and I see myself doing the same thing sometimes too that she does, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, okay, I got to work on that. So I've seen, her going through what she's going through. And it's funny because, when I talked about how we were all so encouraged by what her doctor said, and then she had an attitude of, oh, I got to get my affairs in order, it's bad. Well, a big part of my mom's frustration is she just wants to feel better. And just like all of us, we wish that we could take a magic pill and whatever we wanted in our lives could happen right now. Wouldn't that be great? We're like, yeah, I can lose 20 pounds right now. It's going to happen if I just take this pill. I mean, that would be so easy. But if we were able to do that, we would be missing out on the journey. And we would be missing out on the lesson that whatever this thing is teaching us. And my mom, I know, wants to snap her fingers and have the cancer gone. And you feel like, why can't they just go in and take it out and just be gone and just disappear? We've all felt that way at certain points. We just want it gone. Like, just get out of our lives, okay? We're done with this already. But you can't do that. There are lessons that she's learning that if she didn't have to go through this process, she would not learn. She's learning how to depend on herself. She's learning how much strength she really has. She's learning how to have an amazing attitude towards this. She's learning so many really important lessons for her that if she were to just snap her fingers or just have them go in tomorrow and surgically remove it and that's the end of it, she wouldn't learn. She has to go through this mountain of 6 months of chemo and then doing the surgery. And I can see in her eyes, I could see it when they first started telling her all the things. I think she thought she would just go in and they would remove it and that would be the end of it. But it's not. It's not going to be an instantaneous thing. She's going to have to go through the treatment. She's going to have to go through the ups and the downs because there are going to be ups and downs. And some of you may be feeling the very same way about situations in your life. You may be so frustrated because you may not be seeing anything happening, and you may be wondering, where is God in all of this? Why am I just being allowed to suffer? What's happening? And I have felt that way in my own life many times. There have been times where I questioned, where are you, God? Where are you? What is going on? Why am I being forced to go through this alone? And the truth is, you're not being forced to go through this alone. When it seems like things are not happening in the timing that we want, that's our own ego and fear jumping in and saying, I don't have faith. I don't trust that this is going to work out. And it can be so easy to go to that place because that is exactly where my mom went at first, And so many people have come up to her since then and they've said, if anybody can kick cancer's butt, it's you. If anyone can get through this, it's you. You are so strong. You got this. And it's like she had to be reminded of who she is. And I feel like so many of us have to be reminded of who we are. We are truly powerful, divine beings of love and light who are powerful and capable of having anything and everything we want. But we can't remember. We don't remember who we are. And I feel like sometimes the divine timing is a test for us to see, do we trust? Do we have faith? Or are we allowing our ego to step in and say, this is never going to happen for you? There are so many people who prove that if it doesn't happen right away, it doesn't mean it's over. I've seen so many different specials where there were actors who tried their whole lives to get into the business. They just kept trying, and they may have had small parts here and there, but it was later in life, like in their 60s, that they finally got that big break, and that was the break they needed. And then, of course, they were a household name, and everyone knew who they were. Same thing with other successful people. It didn't happen for them overnight. The success happened later on. But the one thing that all of those people had in common was that they never gave up. And I think a lot of people give up too soon. It's like the universe is trying to say to you, do you have faith? Do you trust me? Do you trust that we're going to bring you what you want? And we say, yeah, in the beginning, we're like, yeah, I have faith, I trust, I know I'm going to have everything I want. But the longer you have to wait, the longer that goes on, the more that doubt and fear creeps in. And you start to say, maybe I'm not supposed to have this. Maybe it isn't meant for me. Maybe the universe doesn't want to bring it to me. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. We start questioning everything. And the universe is trying to send us signs saying, no, you're on the right path. You're on the right path. Stay the course. And we see these angel numbers and we're like, okay, that's my sign. But then we doubt that too. Well, I probably just looked at the clock at the wrong time. We just doubt everything. And that's when I think it is so much more important for us to take a breath and know, okay, this isn't my intuition. This is my fear. This is my fear telling me that this is never going to happen. My intuition knows that I deserve this, that the universe wants to bring this to me, but now my fear is getting in the way, and my fear is telling me, this is never going to happen for you. And I just mess things up because when that fear comes in, then I lose faith. And I love that tattoo that's faith over fear, because really that's the biggest part of it, is getting past your fear and getting to that place of faith. When we can tell our ego to shut up, to take a back seat, to go take a vacation day, we don't need you. When we can learn to do that and then just trust our intuition and go with it and say, you know what? I know that this is coming to me. I just have to have patience. Because it is all about divine timing. It's not just about, do you have faith that this thing is coming? But it's about divine timing too, because there are a lot of things that have to happen in order for things to align perfectly for you. And if we just let that fear come in and say, oh, it's not happening, it hasn't happened in a month, in 2 months, it's never happening. That's going to totally derail us. It will. We can't lose faith that what is promised to us is going to come to us, because it will. We can't lose that faith. But it would be so easy to do. The other day, we had the graduation party for my twins on Saturday, and Friday, my dad was supposed to come into town, and my dad's cousin, who she lives next door to my mom, and we've lived next door to them growing up my whole life. So she is a second cousin, but really was more like an aunt, and that's what we always called her, aunt. So Friday, her husband had a heart attack. He woke up and didn't feel right, had some indigestion, it wasn't going away. So she was a nurse, so she said, we need to go to the hospital. So they took him, and he had a minor heart attack. But they did some tests, and they found out that his arteries were like 80 to 90% blocked. So actually, he's really lucky that they took him when they did, because they're lucky it wasn't a massive heart attack. But this is one of those things where, I'll call her my aunt. She's really my cousin, but she was, saying, oh my gosh, how much more this family has had. Oh my gosh, and just wanted to lose it and break down. And of course, nobody can blame her for that, because it has been a year. It's been crazy, everything that's happened. And she came back from the hospital. They wanted to do surgery. And, at first she went to that place of being scared. And she said, the thing that really bothers me is that I am talking to him and he seems like ready to give up. Like, I don't know if I'm going to make it. I don't know if I'm going to survive. And remember, I talked to you how my mom went through the same thing. And it's normal. It's normal for people to go through that. But we all know that a person's attitude is so important when you're going through a health situation like this. Your emotions, your attitude really do affect your recovery and your health. So she was very worried about that. But we said a prayer for him, and, we tried to encourage her. And then she went to the hospital again the next day, and they found out, they transferred him to a better hospital, and they're going to do the surgery in a couple days. And they said, it's not an emergency. He's stable. So we'll just go and do this in a few days, and we'll get all of this squared away. So she felt better. And I think he started to feel better. And so his attitude changed, and so did hers. But it would have been so easy for them to just go to that place of fear and say, you know what, he's never going to get better. He's not going to recover. Because again, like my mom, they wanted to be able to snap their fingers and have them say, okay, we're going to give him these pills and he's going to be fine. And that isn't what happened. They heard open heart surgery. Well, that's going to be a long recovery, But they also realized that this could have been a whole lot worse. It really could have. And so we can handle this. And then she even said that we can get through this together. We can handle it. And we have to really adopt that attitude when it comes to waiting for things to show up in our lives that we're looking for. We need to have that attitude of, I can get through this until it shows up, right? Because we need to enjoy our lives every day. Instead of saying, I'm going to be happy when that thing shows up. We can't have that attitude. Instead, we want to say, I'm going to be happy now. And when that thing shows up, which I know it is, I'm just going to be that much more ecstatic. But I'm already so happy because I already have so many blessings. It's so easy just to focus on what you don't have. And that's why a lot of people get jealous of other people and they want to compare themselves to others and they don't think it's fair, that it's not fair. This person has this and I don't. I mean, that's normal to feel that way, but that's your ego. That's your ego saying, I have to be as good as so-and-so, or I have to be at this place in my life at this time. And you don't, okay? It's all about divine timing. There's no expiration date for your dreams. There's no certain time or day that you have to have achieved a certain goal. It's all going to happen for you, but it's in divine timing. I was thinking about the song. It's called Turn, 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 and it's by the Byrds, but it's actually based off of a Bible verse. And the lyrics of the song says, to everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. There's a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to reap, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to laugh, a time to weep. So it's like even in the Bible, it talks about timing and how there's a time and a season for everything. So that means that there will be a time when we have to go through tough things. That's why when I was talking about my mom and my uncle, this is a time for them to have to go through this healing. And it even says there's a time to heal. Even though they may have wanted to snap their fingers and be healed again and whole and feel better immediately, that just isn't how it works. There's a timing for everything. There's a time when all of us will have to heal. There's a time for us to be born. There's a time for each of us to die. There's a time that we'll have to mourn. There's a time that we get to dance. It's all about, life really is like a dance. It's all about the ebb and flow of things, and that, the timing of the universe is perfect. Whether we understand it or not, the timing of the universe is perfect. It happens the way and how and when it's meant to happen. It truly does. It's hard for us to understand that with our human brains sometimes. We want to make everything about logic and reason. Well, that doesn't make sense that this would happen, or why didn't I do this, or why didn't they do this? But there's a lesson in all of those things. The reason that everything happens to us is because we came here to learn and to grow and to evolve. And if we sat in our little cocoons and we stayed comfortable and we never experienced fear or doubt or impatience, because impatience is a big lesson for a lot of people in not giving up and not becoming impatient. And that's a lesson. That's a part of our journey, is learning how to get through those times when we don't necessarily see our blessings coming. It's a lesson in looking around us to see the blessings we already have. Just like with my mom's illness and my uncle's, we started looking around and going, you know what, this could have been so much worse. This could have happened and this could have happened. So we're so lucky this happened. We're lucky this happened. We're lucky that happened the way it did. We're lucky that my mom got sick the way she did, so we caught the cancer. We're lucky my uncle was feeling indigestion, so they took him to the hospital. Those things, we instead, when adversity hits and you so want to look around and go, my God, why? Even when my ex, with everything that happened with him, my family, we were talking about it and we said, you know what, that could have been a whole lot worse. He could have done that when my kids were over at his house and they could have found him. Or he could have, there's always those stories about parents who kill their kids first and then kill themselves. I'm like, what if he had done that? So we look for the silver lining, the blessing in everything, to say this could have been worse. It's hard to do sometimes, but we have to trust in the divine timing of things, and we have to trust that it will all unfold the way that it's meant to, and that it is unfolding the way it's meant to. Sometimes when you're not seeing things happen, it's because it's not the end of the story yet. I love this quote. I mention it in my book, and I don't really know who to attribute it to because I've seen several people that it's attributed to, but it says, everything will be okay in the end. And if it's not okay, it's not the end. So that just means that, if you don't feel like everything's okay, if you're still feeling like you're in the middle of turmoil, it's because things are still going on to get that situation worked out. But in the end, you're going to look back and go, oh my gosh, yeah, that was for the best. It's great. It worked out. It just feels uncomfortable when you're in the middle of that process. I also read somewhere that people who start their own businesses, It takes 5 years for a business to actually start seeing profit, generally speaking. If you're a small entrepreneur, it takes 5 years. And there are so many people who start businesses and they give up after year 1 or year 2. And I know the feeling because when I started my business, and it's only been like 2.5 years for me, I started my business and it was very slow. And I thought, why am I doing this? It's never going to work. And then I was like, no, you're building this slowly. And steadily and surely it increases and increases, and you build a client base and you build listeners. And, I could have been so discouraged starting off my podcast with 10 listeners. But I thought, no, I'm going to keep going. I say this all the time, but I truly mean it. If it helps one person, then it's worth it. So I kept going and I keep going every day. And slowly and surely, it's like building more momentum, building more speed, and it's working. So I want you all to understand that you're building momentum and steam in your life. And the good things are going to come in for you. It's just in divine timing. And when you try to control the outcome, you want to know how it's going to come in, when and where, you're actually delaying the blessings because you're resisting and you're out of alignment with whatever it is that you want, and you're out of the flow. And I can tell you that when I just let go and just realize that everything's working out and I'm going to be okay, things come in a lot faster for me. It's when I put my hands in there and, it's like too many cooks in the kitchen. Yeah, when I get in there and I'm like, I have to help with this, then things start slowing down. It's like gumming up the works. It's like people just actually start going backwards when they do that, because we're not supposed to get in there and be like, oh my gosh, I've got to know everything and I've got to control everything. Sometimes we're only given one step at a time, like do this next. Okay, next do this. And that can be frustrating, but we need to have faith, have patience, ensure that we are still in alignment. And remember, when you get out of alignment, the easiest thing to do is just stop wherever you are, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and say, okay, universe, I know I'm out of alignment with this thing that I want. Please help me. Show me how to get back into alignment. But really, the easiest way is to put the thing out of your mind and work on raising your own vibration and just being happy. That's the hardest thing for some people, is just to be happy in their own lives. But that's what it's all about, learning how to enjoy what you have and enjoy your life. That's why the Monday's episode, I just ran an older episode because my family is in town. And I said, you know what, I'm just going to take the time to enjoy my family. And it was a wonderful weekend. And I felt very much in a high vibrational place because we were laughing, talking, and it's great. And sometimes we just need to take time to do that and focus on the blessings, the good things, and enjoying your friends, your family, whatever that you have that you enjoy in your life. Because in the end, it's all going to work out. And that's what you need to keep telling yourself. Everything always works out perfectly for me. Let that be your mantra daily. Everything always works out perfectly for me, because in the end, it does. The universe's timing is perfect. So don't lose faith. Keep going. You've got this. All right, guys, I wanted to pull a card for you today. You cannot make this stuff up, I swear to you. I just pulled the card. It is from my deck, Divine Whispers, and the card is Things Are Working Out Perfectly. Imagine that. That's the card I pulled. I laugh when I'm sitting here doing this because I didn't even see the card that I pulled. All right, so it's Things Are Working Out Perfectly. The universe wants you to know that everything is going to work out for you. The conflict or situation that you are getting through right now will be resolved. The universe is working behind the scenes to help you figure out a solution that is reasonable and just for all parties involved. Take comfort in knowing that your angels and guides are helping you with this situation. Remain calm and know they are working on your behalf. Things will work out for the best very soon. All right, and there is a prayer that goes with this card. It is a prayer to Archangels Gabriel and Raguel. So I'm going to read it. If you want to say it along silently with me, you can, or just listen and feel it in your heart or whatever. Dear angels, I am asking you to help me resolve the conflict in my life surrounding, and you name the person or the situation. I know that you are working on my behalf behind the scenes to help heal this situation, and for that I thank you. Please allow me to remain in peace as this situation continues to unfold. Please guide any communication regarding this situation that it might be received with love and understanding. Amen. All right, that was perfect. I hope that you guys just continue to have faith and know that the universe is working on your behalf to bring you what's for your highest good in divine timing. And now, if you guys like this podcast, please subscribe. Please share it with others. Please leave a review from wherever you're listening. Leave me some stars on iTunes. That helps others find me. And I thank you so much for that. If you want to work with me, you can go to my website, melissaoatman.com. There you will find a list of services that I offer. From the offerings page, you can purchase a session, and then just contact me and we will schedule it. All of my sessions are done online through Zoom, so we will meet virtually, so you never even have to leave your home. Also, follow me on social media. I go live. It's usually Mondays at 6:30 Central on Facebook. I do a free card reading, and if you are there for the live, I will pull a card for you too. I also post videos to IGTV, and I have free guided meditations on YouTube, so check all of that out. As always, I hope that you are having a beautiful day from wherever you're listening. I am sending you guys so much love and light. I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.